Have you ever felt that the world we see is only a fraction of reality? That behind the veil of space and time, there are doors waiting to be opened? Legends from every corner of the earth speak of them. Gateways between realms, hidden thresholds where the fabric of existence bends and new worlds bleed through. Some call them stargates, others the paths of the gods. To step through such a portal is not just to change location, but to transform your very being. But here lies the hidden truth. Portals are not fantasy. They are not confined to science fiction or myth. They are part of the ancient architecture of consciousness itself. From the stone circles of the Celts to the sacred pyramids of Egypt, from the Mayan temples to the Tibetan mandalas, the same symbols repeat. Circles, spirals, thresholds, signs of doorways to other dimensions, encoded in plain sight. Tonight, we journey into this mystery, not to entertain, but to awaken. For if you listen closely, you may discover that these gateways have always surrounded you, and perhaps one has already called your name. Welcome to Esoteric Glyph, a sanctuary for hidden knowledge, ancient wisdom, and the truths whispered between worlds. If you seek deeper understanding beyond the ordinary, subscribe and join our growing circle of seekers. But be warned, what you are about to hear is not common knowledge. This exploration may shift the way you see reality itself. Legends say that once a portal opens for you, there is no turning back. The question is, when it does, will you step through? Throughout history, whispers of dimensional portals have echoed across civilizations, cloaked in myth, ritual, and sacred geometry. To dismiss them as superstition is to ignore the astonishing consistency of these accounts. Each culture, separated by oceans and centuries, telling the same story in a different tongue. The existence of hidden gateways between worlds. The ancient Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, beings who descended through sky doors to walk among mortals. The Egyptians revered the Duat, a shadow realm accessible through portals guarded by serpents of fire. In the Vedic traditions of India, the sages described the lokas, multiple planes of reality stacked one upon another, with pathways connecting them like threads in an infinite web. The Mayans, too, carved depictions of shamans standing at thresholds, halfway between the earth of men and the world of spirits. What unites these accounts is not only their symbolism of passage, arches, circles, spirals, stairways, but their insistence that portals were never merely physical. They were states of consciousness. To cross the threshold was as much an inner transformation as it was a journey outward. Philosophers of the esoteric traditions understood this deeply. Plato spoke of reality as a shadow cast by higher dimensions, suggesting that the truest journey was not across distance, but upward in awareness. The Hermeticists echoed, "As above, so below, as within, so without." To enter a portal was to align the microcosm of the self with the macrocosm of the universe. But here lies the riddle. If these portals are real, why are they hidden? Why do modern cultures dismiss them as myth? The answer is not simple. Over centuries, as empires rose and fell, knowledge of the portals became guarded, secret, or outright suppressed. The Church, wary of doctrines that threatened its authority, condemned much of this wisdom as heresy. Science, in its march toward materialism, labeled it fantasy. And so, the memory of the gateways slipped into the realm of legend, their power buried beneath dogma and skepticism. Yet the symbols remain. Cathedrals still echo with circular rose windows that mirror the mandalas of the East. Labyrinths lie etched in sacred sites, guiding seekers to a center that represents the crossing. Even our modern fascination with black holes, wormholes, and parallel universes is but the scientific language of an ancient truth, that reality itself may be threaded with doorways. And so, when you hear of dimensional portals, understand this. You are not hearing the ravings of mystics. You are brushing against a lineage of wisdom thousands of years old, preserved in stone, scripture, and symbol. A lineage that suggests the veil between worlds is far thinner than we imagine. To understand the mystery of dimensional portals, we must first shift how we think about reality itself. Most of us are taught to see the universe as a solid, physical stage, fixed, measurable, governed by predictable laws. But beneath the surface lies a subtler architecture. Fields of energy, layers of vibration, dimensions stacked like invisible floors of a cosmic tower. A portal is not just a hole in space. It is a resonance point, a place or state of mind, where these layers overlap and briefly allow passage. Think of reality as a vast ocean. Most of us only swim on the surface, aware only of waves and foam. But portals are the hidden currents that pull downward or upward, revealing depths most never touch. Ancient traditions hinted at this through symbol. The spiral, for example, is more than decoration. It encodes the mathematics of vortexes, pathways through which energy spirals inward and outward, like cosmic gateways. The circle, endlessly looping, represents thresholds where beginnings and endings blur. Even the square, when aligned with sacred proportions, becomes a map of dimensional alignment. These shapes were not ornamental, they were keys. But how do portals form? There are three primary ways described across traditions. 1. Geographical portals. Certain locations on Earth vibrate with unusual energy. From Stonehenge to the Bermuda Triangle, myths cluster around places where compasses spin and time feels thin. These may be natural intersections of geomagnetic lines, places where the Earth itself sings in resonance with higher realms. 2. Celestial portals. The alignment of stars and planets has long been seen as opening windows in the heavens. Ancient builders oriented temples to solstices and equinoxes, believing these moments thin the veil, creating bridges between the mortal and the divine. 3. Inner portals, perhaps the most profound. Through ritual, meditation, and altered states of consciousness, seekers create doorways within themselves. Shamans, mystics, and visionaries all describe journeys where they leave their bodies to enter other realms. Experiences indistinguishable from stepping through a cosmic gate. These three are not separate but mirrors of one truth, that portals emerge wherever energy, intention, and consciousness converge. The key is not only in the landscape, nor only in the stars, but in the mind of the traveler. And here lies the secret most never realize. A portal is not just about where you go, but who you become. To cross one is to be remade. The old self cannot survive the passage. That is why myths warn of danger, of madness, of never returning the same. For a doorway between worlds is also a doorway between selves. So the question is not simply do portals exist? The question is, are you ready to face what waits on the other side? If the first layer of understanding is that portals exist as resonant thresholds, then the second is this: not every doorway leads where you expect. Ancient myths are filled with warnings. In Celtic lore, stepping into a fairy mound might return you centuries later, even if you thought you were gone only an hour. In Japanese tradition, travelers who entered hidden shrines sometimes emerged into realms inhabited by spirits and never returned to the human world. The Greeks spoke of Hades not just as an underworld, but as an invisible geography, a place reachable through hidden openings in caves, lakes, or even mirrors of still water. These stories reveal something profound. Portals are not highways between tourist destinations. They are tests of perception and alignment. Where you arrive depends on who you are when you cross. This explains why myths often describe unworthy seekers being destroyed, while the prepared return with wisdom, gifts, or divine power. The portal is a mirror, showing not the place you seek, but the truth of your vibration. If fear dominates you, you may enter realms of shadow. If clarity and purpose guide you, you may glimpse worlds of light. Yet, many misconceptions surround this topic. Popular culture often portrays portals as stable, physical machines, a ring humming with energy, a doorway standing open for anyone to enter. But traditions insist that real portals are rarely so obvious. Most are transient, opening only when conditions align. They appear in dreams, during deep meditation, in sacred ceremonies, or at precise cosmic moments. Their duration may be seconds, their threshold invisible to ordinary sight. Another misconception is that portals are external only. In truth, the greatest portal lies within consciousness itself. Modern science even begins to touch this truth. Physicists studying quantum entanglement, wormholes, and multidimensional theory echo the language of mystics. They suggest that space and time may fold, that elsewhere may be closer than our next breath. In this way, the act of shifting awareness could be the very mechanism by which portals open. There is also the paradox. If portals exist, why are they hidden from the masses? The answer may be unsettling. Perhaps they are not hidden at all. Perhaps they surround us daily, waiting in plain sight, but most minds are too dulled by noise, distraction, and disbelief to notice. Just as you cannot hear a frequency your ears are not tuned to, you cannot perceive a gateway your soul is unprepared to enter. This raises a haunting thought. What if you have already brushed past one? What if, walking through a forest, you felt a sudden silence, a shift in air, the sense of being watched, and then dismissed it as imagination? What if that was the threshold? What if you already crossed, and never realized you had stepped into another layer of reality? The mystery of portals is not only about where they lead, but about how they rewrite the very meaning of reality. For if the boundaries of this world are not fixed, then neither are the boundaries of who we are. The mystery of dimensional portals is not meant to remain in dusty manuscripts or mythic tales. It whispers to us because it carries practical significance for our lives today. The gateways may be vast cosmic phenomena, but they also exist in the microcosm of your own consciousness. To approach them, you do not need advanced technology. You need attention, intention, and preparation. So how does one begin? 1. Sacred awareness of place. Start with your environment. Ancient builders knew that certain places hum with energy. Mountaintops, caves, stone circles, old trees, and rivers. These are natural thresholds where the veil is thinner. If you feel drawn to a particular location, trust that pull. Spend time in stillness there. Notice the shift in air, sound, and sensation. That awareness is the first step toward recognizing the presence of portals. 2. The ritual of alignment. Before crossing any threshold, the ancients purified themselves. Fasting, bathing, chanting, or lighting incense were not empty gestures. They were ways of aligning body, mind, and spirit. For you, this may mean creating a quiet space, setting a clear intention, and using breath work or meditation to center yourself. A doorway does not open to a scattered mind. It opens to a consciousness honed like a blade. 3. Dream work and visualization. Many traditions teach that the dream world is the training ground of the soul. Before you can step through portals in waking life, you may encounter them in dreams. Keep a journal. Pay attention to recurring symbols, arches, stairways, tunnels, doors. Practice visualization. Imagine yourself walking toward a radiant doorway, pausing, then stepping through. Over time, this primes your awareness to recognize portals when they truly appear. 4. Resonance through sound and vibration. From Tibetan monks to shamanic drumming, sound has always been used to open gateways. Try using chants, mantras, or binaural tones to alter your brainwave state. These frequencies shift your consciousness into alignment with subtler realities, making you more receptive to liminal experiences. 5. Courage and intention. The most important key is not location or ritual. It is your heart. Entering a portal is not like booking a journey. It is a test. If your intention is shallow curiosity, you may find only shadows. But if your intention is pure, seeking wisdom, healing, or transformation, the portal responds. As within, so without. A word of caution: do not chase these experiences recklessly. Just as electricity can illuminate a home or destroy it, the energy of portals is powerful. Approach with respect, patience, and humility. The greatest mistake is to treat them as spectacle. They are not entertainment. They are encounters with the architecture of reality itself. Yet, the rewards are profound. To brush against such a threshold is to realize that you are more than flesh, more than thought. You are a traveler in a multiverse of possibility. You begin to sense that life itself is a portal, and each choice you make is a doorway into a new world. So, perhaps the real question is not how do I find a portal, but how do I live as if I am already standing in one? Every breath, every moment, every decision opens or closes invisible doors. To awaken to this truth is to reclaim the power of your journey. We began with a question whispered through legend. What happens when you cross a dimensional portal? And along the way, we discovered that portals are not just fantasy. They are ancient truths encoded in stone, myth, and consciousness itself. They are the thresholds where worlds overlap, where the known dissolves into the infinite unknown. From Sumerian gods descending through sky doors, to shamans stepping beyond the veil in trance, to modern physics hinting at hidden dimensions, the message has always been the same. Reality is not fixed. It is layered, alive, and waiting to be explored. But the deepest secret is this: you are not merely a spectator. You are a participant. The gateway does not stand apart from you, it responds to you. The portal is both outside and within, and to step through is not only to enter another world, but to discover another self. So I leave you with this thought. Perhaps you have already brushed past a doorway, in dreams, in silence, in moments when reality seemed to shimmer and bend. Perhaps you ignored it, or perhaps it is waiting still. When it appears again, the choice will be yours. To remain in the comfort of the familiar, or to take the step that transforms everything. And maybe, just maybe, that step has already begun here, now, in this very moment of listening. Call to action. If this journey has stirred something in you, if you feel the whisper of forgotten truths, then you belong here with us. Subscribe to Esoteric Glyph, and join a circle of seekers exploring the hidden architectures of reality. Share your thoughts below. Your insights may be the key someone else has been searching for. Because this is not just a video. It is an invitation, a spark to awaken the part of you that has always known. There is more, far more, than what we see. So traveler, the question remains, when the portal opens, will you have the courage to step through?